Well, we learned yesterday that there's going to be a hike in our Saskatchewan utility bills. The average homeowner will be paying about $11 more per month starting next month. Now, Premier Scott Moe has said it's because of the federal carbon tax. And so to talk a little more about this and understand how this is all going to work, I'm joined by Brett Dolter, who is an ecological economist at the University of Regina. Thank you so much for taking the time to break this all down for us today.
You're welcome.
So, give us your take on how this charge is being incorporated into our bills.
So, we heard that they're going to have a separate line for the Sask Power and Sask Energy bills where you see how much you're going to pay for carbon pricing. So it's going to be not built into the rates. It's a separate charge and it'll be based on how much you use. So you use more natural gas, you pay more for carbon pricing.
Yeah, and so we've heard that it's going to start at this rate, but that will likely grow over the coming years. What can you tell us about how that growth will happen?
Sure. So 2019, we're going to start with a carbon tax of $20 a ton. Now, the federal government has committed to increase that by $10 a year up until 2022. So 2022 will be at $50 a ton. So if you're paying an extra $10 a month now, you'll be paying an extra $25 a month in 2022. If you haven't taken any measures to reduce your energy use. And that's really the goal of this policy, is to get people to think about their energy use, see that cost, and start to take the actions that lower that energy use.
So the less energy you use, obviously, the less that increase will be?
That's right, yeah. So in economics, we have something we call the law of demand. We know consistently over time that if prices go up, people are going to use less of something. That doesn't mean everyone will be able to use less, but many people would be in a situation where they could install insulation, buy a more fuel-efficient vehicle, get LED light bulbs, all these different actions they can take to use less energy and then therefore pollute less.
Mm-hmm. So we know that Canadians will be getting rebates for the carbon tax. How will that all work?
Well, the federal government has imposed this carbon pricing backstop on Saskatchewan. So they've also then dictated the terms of how that money gets spent. So all of the money that gets raised when you have a carbon price goes into a pool that is then distributed, 90% of it back to households in the form of rebates on your income tax. So this is tax season. If you go to do your taxes, depending on how many people in your household, you'll get a certain rebate. So for me, 2 people in the household plus a kid, I did my taxes, get $533 off the taxes, or a rebate if you don't owe anything. So that's a way to ensure that the policy doesn't actually make anyone poorer. That's not the goal. It is just to shift prices. And again, use the market economy, use these market measures to change investment decisions and change behavior.
Looking at that, if you're getting the money back, how does that work then? How does this carbon pricing plan actually reduce emissions if you're really not losing anything?
Well, so when you get that rebate back, people will spend that in different ways. If you get it back on your taxes, maybe you'll put it into savings, maybe pay off a student loan, maybe you just spend it with your general spending. You get a haircut, you buy some clothes. So you're not going to be likely using all of it to go back and spend on energy and spend on gasoline, natural gas, and electricity. What we hope to see is that households who are able to have the option will find ways to use less energy. And then if you're an average household, you get a little bit more than breaking even. If you're an energy efficient household, so you drive an efficient vehicle, you don't drive much, you insulated your basement, you'll get more back in the rebate than you pay for the carbon pricing. So you're actually ahead of the game, and that's part of the incentive structure. You want people to be working to be on that low side, to be the low energy user, so they get more in the rebate than they spend.
All right, well, it's a complicated subject, so thank you so much, as always, for taking the time to explain it.